Good day. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. How's it going, eh? Welcome to the stream, eh? Good day, eh? Streams are great for keeping the beer cold, eh? No, like those folks that play video games on the internet, eh? Not water, you hoser. The inner what? Take off, like on the computer, hosehead. Oh yeah, I love the interweb. My favorite streamer is Shakal Star. He is live from Canada, eh? Yeah, his stream is a beauty, eh? Hey, like, pass the back bacon, eh? He's starting.
Good day, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm giving Dungeons 3 a try. This is a game that was supplied by the developer, so I'm not really completely sure what it's about, but I think you gotta design your dungeon so that the invading good guys get killed or something. We will see. Gunner, hey, how are you? Rod the Leg, love me. And some hearts, thank you so much. So I don't know. Let's see what this is about. Hopefully the sound is okay. It's pretty musical right now. Tutorials? Should we do the tutorials? Probably, eh?
Dungeon Basics. The newcomer evil should learn the basics of dungeon management.
Alright. Let's learn the basics first. I mean, who doesn't love learning the basics? I figure it's time. Good time to learn the basics. All creature skills trigger automatically.
The still learning the ropes evil had decided to try the excellent tutorials. Good choice.
Good
In
choice.
this childishly simple introductory mission, it would learn the basics of dungeon management. Things like digging, building rooms, and hiring and firing creatures. Everything a novice evil needs to know. First of all, it admired the center of its power, the dungeon heart. This, if possible, should never be broken, as that would lead to an inglorious and permanent end to the definitely wanting to avoid this at all costs evil. Naturally,
Alrighty.
the most important resource for any evil genius was gold. One could make the best things out of the glittering metal, and nary a creature was going to let the absolute evil hire it and push it around without a coin or two. Sad, I know, but that's the way the cold, hard capitalist world of evil works. Although a little gold could also be stored in the dungeon heart, the little snots, the strange name-giving evil's workers, had to travel long distances to do so. It made much more sense to build a treasury nearby. The fast-learning evil immediately began doing so.
I guess that's why you find dungeons full of gold, eh? There we go. Oh, I see. They're building it. They're digging it out. Biggest space for a room. Old vein. Well, it looks like it's pointing at that thing, so. So why is the construction menu?
Sometimes the bored evil's little snots didn't work quickly enough. That was the time to give them a hearty slap with the hand of terror. Naturally, this had to be done immediately.
Collapse administered. Crap, they ran away. Actions, I guess. Select the dig, drop, hold. Demon heart status. Could be this actions, eh?
The calculating evil threw a cagey glance at its population limits. These were divided into little snots and creatures. As opposed to creatures, little snots did not have to be hired separately, but were always regenerated up to the maximum limit. And so it was that the massacring evil didn't have to worry if one of these miserable creatures died. It simply had to wait for the next one. At the same time, the little snots were the dungeon workers who dug the galleries, mined the gold, and took care of any number of other things. That's why it was never a bad idea to increase their maximum limit. The thirsty for more little snots evil hurriedly began work. The corresponding research was kindly unlocked for the absolute evil. This was necessary in the tutorial in order not to confuse it with the wide range of possibilities. Besides, there are people out there who really do everything wrong.
Okay. Okay, open menu selection. Research menu. We're getting this now.
Unfortunately, creatures were a little more demanding than the miserable little snots. A hideout would have to be researched before creatures such as goblins and orcs could be hired. As loyal as the little snots were, they were unable to fight and took to their heels in panicked flight at the first sight of an enemy. Sighing, the unscrupulous evil set about providing a hideout.
We're building another hole here. Didn't want me to build over there. We gotta mark our territory here. Marking the territory. Right, snods. Now we can improve the place. No lecture hall. Oh, here we go. Hideout. Open menu selection. Boardrooms. Now we build it, I guess. All right. Now we gotta make these dudes orcs and goblins.
The army craving evil had hired a creature which would from now on do its dirty work. However, each creature consumed a population point. Fortunately, these could be increased just like the number of workers. Should it become necessary to recover a population point, the maliciously grinning evil could always
What's
use
that
the
one?
egress located at its dungeon heart. Simply toss the creature onto it, a little pull of the lever, and oh, whoops. Well, there it goes.
All right. Gotta do this.
These creatures were pretty spoiled. Not only did horde creatures demand their own bunks, they also wanted something to eat. Otherwise, they would soon refuse to do any work whatsoever and go on strike. The deeply sighing evil had no other choice than to build his creatures a gobbler farm to satisfy their hunger.
Goblin farm now. Kind of a neat concept. Kind of interesting what they're doing. Okay, we gotta research the goblin farm now. Then we gotta go to the construction menu here. Left bumper over. Gobbler Farm. Gobblers are created on the Gobbler Farm. Delicious, gobbling little creatures. So that kind of designates it.
Excellent work. The Gobbler Farm was now ready. Later, the creatures would also demand
The
other
turkeys.
things, but for now, they were satisfied. The fast-learning evil had mastered the first tutorial with flying colors. Excellent work.
Sweet.
Evil evilness. The fast-learning evil quickly set about sending its creatures into the overworld. Dungeon Basics. The newcomer evil should learn the
Oh,
basics.
here we go.
Evil
I guess this is the order.
evilness. The fast-learning
Hey,
evil
X-Wing, how are
quickly
you?
set about
Welcome.
Sending its creatures into the overworld.
This game is Dungeons3, supplied by the developer. Actually, the same people that make Tropico, I think. I should know, but I don't really. You're a bad guy, and you gotta make a dungeon. It's like kind of a sim game for evil dungeon makers. And then I guess eventually you'll be having people trying to invade your dungeons, and you gotta fend them off with your creation. Good, thanks. The as far as it goes, it's harder to get codes because I don't have quite the following that I had on Mixer, but the this was a code left over from that. So at least it looks like a good one. This game, it looks pretty fun.
Fast-learning evil
Once
had
you get
begun
into it,
the
I'm sure.
second tutorial. It now more or less knew what it had to do to build a dungeon. Now it would turn to the overworld, where it would sow chaos and destruction. Up there waited a Isle of
I never
Glue,
played any of the
which
previous
just
dungeon
begged
games.
to be destroyed. The impatient evil got right down to destroying. Before the overworld could be destroyed, a number of creatures would first have to be brought there. The Hand of Terror greedily reached out to grab some.
Change region. Press B. I'll get there again if I want to. I don't know what it wants me to do. Pick up and hand. Pick up with the hand. I'm punching them by accident. Hey Ginger, how are you? Drop. Big pickup. Oh, okay. A is pickup. Throw the key creatures in the dungeon exit. There we go.
First, creatures ventured out into the overworld. The destruction-craving evil could hardly wait to transform all those unbearably rich colors into 50 Shades of Grey. The drooling evil
50
did not
Shades
have
of
the
Grey.
omnipotence in the overworld it was used to in the dungeon.
You have a half hour before
It
bed.
had to direct its creatures the old-fashioned way, with orders.
Working you too hard, Axebang? Select the creatures. It's like StarCraft, eh? I think you need a raise, Axebang. Hot Heat, like that Canadian band. Have you ever heard of them? Conquer the location. Oh, I gotta kill the princesses and stuff. Try tell them to go here. The tutorial's rough. Doesn't really tell you what to do. Exit looks like. Move. You moving? They do pay me well. Well, you always need a raise. Doesn't look like it's going well for my team here. Get rid of this guy.
Ah, the Isle of Good had been destroyed. To the ground.
And just take more
This not
taxes.
only made for
Oh,
a
that's
more
true.
pleasant ambiance, but also produced some lovely evilness, which could be
I was
used
looking
for
at this
research.
diagram on
Research
Facebook today. It was
deliberately
talking
set
about
about spending its evilness.
the COVID stuff. Holy crap! Like showing all the states is red. Look at that! I made a giant eyeball by taking over their nice little area.
It's payday.
The heck! All these things are highlighted.
The troop-hungry evil had increased its population limit and could from now on hire more creatures. A great decision.
Yeah, they had like
The fantastic evil had understood
they
the
said like for the
basics of
red
the
dots in
overworld
the
and the advantages of evilness in the blink
California
of an
and
eye.
New York, one of those
Not that those
dots
were
like
difficult
could
concepts, but
represent
hey,
more than all
you
of
take what you
who's
could
infected
get,
in
so
Canada.
good work.
Alright. We're getting this, eh?
Dungeons for advanced students. The skilled evil quickly learn the skills needed to run a dungeon very efficiently.
Yeah, hopefully they get her under control, though. You know, it'd be nice to be able to, you know, not worry so much about tourists coming in, you know.
Knowledge-thirsty evil obviously couldn't get enough of these crazy tutorials. All right then, let's improve our knowledge of the dungeon. The absolute evil's creatures gathered experience from battles over the course of time, and thus reached new levels. This was to be welcomed, as higher level creatures were much more powerful.
Wonder if you can get a dragon eventually. That'd be cool, eh?
The creatures also became harder to please as their levels increased, and had the impudence to demand new things. Unbelievable! Well, that borders on treason. Horde creatures, for example, would later demand beer that they themselves produced in the brewery. But the brewery was still a long way off, as the annoyed evil's little snots had once again proved their lack of intelligence and hadn't built any workplaces in the dungeon. Toolboxes would later be needed for the brewery. These were produced by little snots at workplaces in the workshop. Sighing, the once again disappointed by its workers' evil set about building the workplace.
Right. Create Omat. Oh, you got a cousin in Ohio? Molly's sister lives in
willingly set to work producing
Texas.
toolboxes with a stupid grin on their faces. These were
And
needed to build
works in
the
a hospital.
workplace in the brewery. A cast iron brewing kettle
Crazy
made out
down
of
there, apparently.
toolboxes? Computer game logic. The not particularly known for its patience evil patiently waited for enough toolboxes to be available.
Works in the where they X-ray too, like so they have to actually scan patients. Produce 4 toolboxes. Is that what they're doing right now? All your extras are in Texas? That makes sense. I heard a song about that once. Well, we got 2. There we go. We got 3. All my exes live in Texas. You're in the realm? Nice. I killed the boss yesterday in that game I was playing. I don't know if you were there for that part. Cousin's aunt is in Texas.
The splendid evil had finally produced enough toolboxes by waiting in boredom. It quickly set about building the brewing kettle.
Right, the brewing. This is Axe's favorite spot. We're gonna make a brewing kettle. Making the beer. What's your favorite beer, Axeming? Hey, Lone Ranger. Things Molson Canadian here. This game you You're the dungeon creator, and you gotta. It's like resources and building things up, and you gotta develop creatures and more higher level creatures, and then you fight humans.
The brewing kettle stood proudly, and the diligent little snots went directly to work producing the delicious brew,
Girls light.
so that the horde creatures could soon start knocking it back. All that was missing was someone playing some good old-fashioned folk music. Then again, maybe
We need
not.
the tunes now. It was good, thank you, Lone Ranger.
But now for something completely different, as the hard-working evil now had access to the lecture hall. There, additions to normal research in the form of scrolls could be made for small amounts of gold, time, and evilness. The always slathering for something new evil quickly began to try them out.
Stronger dungeon heart. Softer beds, more gold. Gobbler farm, we got Vortex. I think we chose 3.
Payday.
Only built in a brewery room. Rickard's Red or a good IPA? What's it want me to do? Oh, research 3 scrolls. Alright.
Excellent choice. Very interesting. I would have researched that too.
Hey Yora, how are you? Welcome. I've never played this game before, so I'm not really 100% sure how to do this. I guess you just click randomly on things and it works.
Evil had not only satisfied its alcoholic creatures, but at the same time learned more about research.
You're the bad guy. You
well
make a
equipped to begin
dungeon,
converting the lessons learned into evil, nasty
and then you gotta kill off people trying to invade your dungeon. You make yourself more powerful, kind of thing.
The final exam. The chock full of knowledge evil now faced the challenge of preparing its dungeon for real dangers.
It looks meh to you, but probably good. Well, I mean, this is the 3rd one in the series. Usually that's a sign that people are into it. You know, like, it sucked they would have ended on number 1.
And now it's time for a good book.
Although it might not be
And
your
this comic,
thing, though.
And if I were to
That's
make
the only
myself
thing.
a drink, I could... Oh, wait. You're here? What? I thought we'd done all the tutorials. What do you mean the menu offers a 4th tutorial? But I don't have any more documents for that. I'd love to work with professionals just once. Those boneheads at
Trying
Rome
for a little
can't even get
humor,
the
eh?
menu right. They're probably busy building the Berlin airport. Well, since you're already here, we can... Oh, crap. 3rd person. Well, since the already arrived evil was already there, and probably forget that drink, the keeping the narrator from his hard-earned drink and his lovely Marvel comic book evil commenced yet another tutorial. In this one, it would, Well,
Family Parable?
learn something about traps
You
and
guys keep it employed, I guess.
like how to make and use them. It was a pretty free-form tutorial, as if someone had just made it up really quickly. It was about defending the dungeon against attacking
Yeah, that's what I
heroes.
figured you
A
meant.
few traps had already been placed. These were ready to make life difficult for every hero that approached them. Some others were manually triggered by a blow from the Hand of Terror. Here, timing was everything. The Arcanium already held a lot of mana ready to be used for powerful spells.
So, use a manual trap. So it's like B. Cast the spell. Was not expecting him to be in the game. Alright, let's do a spell. The guy wants me to go there.
You are our guest.
Oh, thank you for the host, Yora.
Suspicious trampling of heavy boots and clanging of armor was
Oh,
heard
didn't
in
play
the
the little
dungeon.
picture.
Soon, the first heroes would enter the dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon.
No, it does that. Weird. These the enemies? Oh, here they are.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Last playing should be Bioshock.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Alright, well, let's do something. Make an easier spell. Give him some demon strength. Hit him with the arrows. Honestly, I can't tell who the good guys and bad
Enemies
guys
have
are.
entered the dungeon.
I like this rain of arrows though. Kind of like
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
whack him with my hand here, eh? I should use this
Payday.
too. There we go. We're getting better already. We got him.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The dungeon heart is being attacked.
I think it's the red dots, the red lines that I'm attacking, eh?
Defend the dungeon heart.
Get him!
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Like a castle defense game, eh?
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Typical Canadian hard ass.
Alright, Axebang, thanks for coming by.
Hey, fellas, any chance you can come over to the house later and play some Sorry?
Sure, how about 9 o'clock?
Oh, 9 o'clock doesn't work. Sorry about that.
Get him. Look at these rangers, man.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
I think there's a better spell than that. Frost bomb, let's try that.
Defend the dungeon heart.
So this is like a castle defense combined with a building game.
All right, excellent work. The last hero had been fended off. The tutorial was finished. Finally, I can get back to my gin and super. Well done. So, now it's time you turn to other things. Things that don't stop me from drinking and from reading my comic.
Alright, he can get his comic read. Heroes converted.
The shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target, a dark elf named Talia.
Well, I guess we gotta do that now.
A long, long time ago. The absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good. Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice change. Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius evil joyfully burst from its secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by naught but a puny little ocean. It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command.
What a plot, eh?
The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions' evil. It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet.
And it sank too.
These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank as well. The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
We're the bad guys, Ginger. Ugh.
The great paladin Tanos, hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Twistram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Talia.
Well now, Talia, tell me about your studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father, I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Really? Excellent. I am proud of you, my child.
Sounds like
Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to
familiar
clear up
voice too.
things. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should anything trouble you, you can turn to him. Isn't that right, Grimly?
Aye, of course, Tanos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. I mean, your daughter. You can count on me.
Then I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
Yuck. Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing, and the next moment, whoomph! With a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget, the shadow entered the world. His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close.
Ooh.
As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family.
All these rabbits and nice things, eh?
The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Twistram. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let the light of the goddess shine. For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here somewhere. I trod in it earlier. For the darkness! I mean, for the light! Sorry, I'm still in training.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature. But, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light.
There we go. We can't go that way. Like the darkness. Think their way to roll the credits,
The
I
shadow
guess.
reached the entrance to Twistram. Fortunately, this one was not closed, but it was brightly lit. Luckily, there was an unfortunate guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers.
Ain't you
As
legit?
long as it wasn't in the light. The shadow of absolute evil melded with the guard and took control of his body. Thus, it was able to pass through the gate with ease.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with our last beer.
Unfortunately, the Shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate.
Ooh.
The Shadow's target was close, so close. Talia, the Dark Elf. Soon she would fight on the side of evil.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Well, I don't know.
I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Yeah, all right, we'd love to come.
Excellent!
But twist their arm.
May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil, the light, I mean. Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terrors or errors or something like that.
We gotta go over here. Avoid that dude. Oh, don't go that way. I was going in there, but not. Oopsie! I gotta hide in here. Let him pass.
Stop holding the lantern in my face like that, boy. I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold, dark tunnels under the mountains. I have no need of any stupid lamp shining into me eyes.
Like Agent 47, eh? Be sneaky.
Enough chit-chat, men. You stay here and secure...
In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be marking the opening of the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Heroes with lanterns began to stream in that direction. The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
And avoid the light.
Finally, the time had come, and the shadow of the passes in the slow lane evil was within range of Talia, the Dark Elf. The time had come for it to use...
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive. That's why I'm happy to take this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you with it.
What did she say?
Die!
What did she say?
I feel the power within me. Oh, it's over 9,000!
Unimagined powers surfaced in Talia, the black magic of the Dark Elves. She immediately began to unleash these powers of chaos upon the
Kill
world.
the whole town. Achievement!
I will kill you all!
Another achievement.
The Dark Elf raged through Twistrom's inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus beam, while screaming, Kamehameha! Meanwhile, in the fatiguing library, they waited eagerly with coffee and cake for Talia to show up and open the new orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building and everyone inside it as well.
Taking care of biz, I guess.
Narcissistic evil patted itself on the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clunking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for. Obviously, the Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Talia had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the fatiguing library, as well as half of Twistrom. The destruction of an orphanage and the bombardment of innocent citizens with magic missiles immediately made her the minion-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Talia withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the fatiguing library. There, between the slaughterhouse and Mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of any dungeon's power. Far away, Paladin of Light and Talia's former mentor, Tanos,
A lot of stories
was on his
setting
way
up
to
here,
the
eh?
Empire's capital of Stormbreeze. Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds.
He went all
Though
Anakin.
he was aware that as a dark elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings. Well, old bean, you thought wrong.
It's like, this, you get all the complete edition, you get all the different stuff too.
Twistrom in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to the shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had Twistrom in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to evil and laid the fatiguing library in ruins. Now she began to build a small power base in its vaults, her first dungeon.
You can play co-op in this too. Didn't even realize it.
Twistrom looked like the leftovers from a heavy metal concert.
What? What have I done? Oh no! I've fallen to evil again. Father will be beside himself. He was right when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Although, in a way, it was fun to be evil. Burning things, pillaging, and showing those nasty goody two-shoes where the hammer hangs. They just look down at me anyway. My revenge will be terrible.
While Talia was delivering a typical villainous monologue, something happened around her. From the depths arose a pulsating crystal, filled with the magic-savvy evil's power. A dungeon heart. Not to be confused with those dungeon hearts from other games. We don't want to be sued again.
Hello, greetings.
Like the jokes outside the
What seems to be your boggle?
Secret mental
breaking the
messages
fifth
were
wall
exchanged
jokes, eh?
between Talia and the mentally savvy evil's crystal. We could explain this in detail at this point, but that would require a 3-hour monologue on my part, and I am definitely not being paid enough for that.
Right then. I will make these people suffer for mocking me. Father's henchmen never liked me anyway, and always insulted me, calling me pointy-eared. It's time for my well-deserved revenge!
The game logic internalizing evil had given Talia an assignment. Out there on the surface were shamelessly good places in urgent need of destruction.
Nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. I and an evil army.
Naturally, the strategically well-versed evil did not send its new general into battle alone. A dungeon had to be built, and creatures hired to provide her with a powerful army. Of course, the sophisticatedly thinking evil already knew which way the wind blew in a dungeon. However, should it be hit by short-term memory loss, it could effortlessly look up things in the fabulous almanac.
It must be the entrance.
The grandiose evil's helpers had not been idle. Well, they hadn't exhausted themselves either, but anyway, there were now some research projects the researching evil could pursue. The new improved research menu, TM, was now available.
If I can remember how to do this, eh?
The new improved research menu, TM, opened and gave an overview of currently available technologies. At the moment, the selection was still limited, but that would change. After all, this evil crusade had only just
I wouldn't
begun.
say it's like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is more of a role-playing game. This one almost seems like it's real-time strategy combined with a little bit of building elements. No lecture hall. So a little bit of even Plants vs. Zombies kind of thing. They make a lecture hall. There's some strategy element to it. Yeah, it looks like it, eh?
It's payday.
Yeah, kind of got to build up. Got no creatures. And you mark off the area.
The bustling evil had discovered a room in the underground.
This thing. What's gold? They're making like Sim City, eh? Almost in some ways. Well, there's the gold vein. That's where we want our treasure room. And then I can pick up that gold I found here. Drop it in there. Maybe a little deeper in the room, eh? Guess right there is fine. I gotta do that research. Graphics are cool in this game. It's kind of interesting. It's one of those games I think once you learn how to do it. Research the hideout. Oh, this one has a healing ray. any food. Spending all my money. Oh, that's the view from the top. See, now I can make a gobbler farm.
Payday.
Little creatures. Good spot as any, I guess. Hey Jay, going okay I think. Just trying a game I've never played before. Called Dungeon3. So you know, I'm going through the tutorial and kind of learning it. Kind of a neat game though. Gotta build a dungeon. Then you gotta defend it and stuff like that against creatures. Or, well, good guys, I guess. Boardrooms. You make a hideout. I would say, like dungeon or like tower defense. In a lot of ways, combined with few other games. You're the bad guy. So, you know, I kind of dig out where I want to go in the dungeon. And you're trying to take over, as the bad guy, you're taking over with things. Made by the same people as Tropico, I think. Now I got a couple, a goblin and an orc or whatever to defend things or attack things. A lot of money, so they gotta mine more. There's a little bit of RTS sort of in there too, I think. Gotta wait for payday.
Your creatures have inadvertently dug into a dragon's nest.
I guess there's a dragon lizard here. I don't want nothing to do with that area. Yeah, they don't want to go near him. If I can pick him up. Got some goblins here. Where'd they go? He's just gonna go to bed. Forget this, he's saying. The other one go.
Payday.
We'll tag it. Okay with fighting the lizard? Only the certain kinds of creatures. Hey, LA Kings. Didn't know you could even find dragon dens in here. That thing I want. Well, I didn't get paid too much. I guess there's only like 3 bad guys. Good guys, I mean. Exit to this place. Destroy the 3 remaining buildings. Those guys get hungry? Guard buildings, maybe it's these things.
Blinding beams of light met the dauntless evil's creatures. They briefly squinted at the disgusting brightness. Finally, they grinned, satisfied. At last, they were able to carry the battle to the good people and were not limited to protecting themselves in a dungeon, as is the case with other representatives of the genre.
Follow me, sons of Rohan. I mean, my vicious hordes. Let's get these tree huggers and wimps.
There's a little bit of real-time strategy here too, eh? Sorta. The XPs. No idea what a guard building like though.
What is going on here? I feel a disturbance in the force.
The deeds of the conspicuous evil and its henchmen had not gone unnoticed. As a matter of fact, even a blind man could see the destruction they left behind them. As idiotic heroes do, they sent out a small patrol to scout the area.
Move out, men. Have a look around and report back to me. While I would love to
that's my
accompany you
guys.
myself, I'm currently teaching myself to play the ukulele.
Guess I gotta make more creatures. $250.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
Thanos must die!
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Hey, where does this lead? We should take a closer look.
The first heroes had discovered the not-so-well-hidden evil's dungeon and now entered its depths. Of course, the insidious evil had already prepared a despicable reception for them. At least I hope so.
I don't think
Even
I
if
have
that's
any
not
troops.
the case, I will kill these ridiculous do-gooders myself. They will pay for mocking me over the years. Wait a minute. What am I saying? Those are my friends. How can I plan their deaths?
Talia had chosen an extremely unfavorable time for moral doubts. Luckily, her evil dark elf heritage prevailed.
Ooh.
Hey, Talia, you're evil, so act like it.
What? Oh, yeah, okay. Kill them all! Death from above! Ooh!
What if she heals? Plus 50 gold in research here. All right. She's healing up. Hey, Octane Birdie. Wonder if those creatures are permanently dead then. To get them to mine the gold or... There we go. I just had to tell them, I guess. Find more gold ores.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Where the other guy is. No, they all helped, I guess, automatically. Make some traps. So we gotta research. Creatures, and I gotta research construction and stuff too.
It's payday.
What's this one? Need 100 glowy things. That might be XP. That's all I could fit in this stone room. What do we find here? Whoever it was, he took it. Mining the place out. Can't mine there. Oops.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
See, one would hope that they'd.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Kind of ganged up on them. Gunner. There must be a way to convert them, eh?
Lead me to the battle! Command me! Hey!
What is this anyway? Wage reduction, normal. Huh. Oh, the treasury is full. Oh, wait. I don't know, let's expand it. And I get.
It's payday.
There we go. Now we'll have a bigger treasury. Mega treasury. Guess these are gold too, eh? Probably expand this a bit.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
Got an open floor plan for my dungeon, apparently.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Construction. Boardrooms. These good guys or bad guys? Guess they'd be running away if they're bad guys. Gonna need more turkeys.
Spiders have spread throughout the underground.
I don't want nothing to do with these spiders.
It's payday.
Never took care of business there.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
I have like a mega turkey farm here. Hey, Hungry Howie. Welcome. I'm making giant turkey farms.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
We'll defend the dungeon
Command
farm.
me!
I don't know, it seems pretty interesting now that I'm starting to understand it a bit. So you gotta build a dungeon essentially. You need this to do that. You need, you know, it's kind of got some elements of a little bit of RTS in there, a little bit of construction games. I can't have too many creatures unless I have lots of food for them. So I got all these turkey farms here. And then I can build more creatures and I can get more gold and research. You have to build a dungeon or like a treasure room, you know. But you can only hold so much treasure. But you're the bad guy. You gotta take over the world. Everything costs money. Gotta defend your big dungeon heart. Then you can go to the surface and attack the people. Pretty soon I'll have more turkeys, so I'll be able to more creatures in here, I think. Oops. No, I can't build more yet. There's a lot of gold right here. Yeah, it's pretty dead. People stop in and say hey once in a while, and about it. I think the majority of the Twitch crowd is daytimers.
Payday.
And they collect his gold. Oops.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
And then I can allocate this as like creature den.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I gotta build traps, but I gotta research them first.
Defend the dungeon hut.
And this is kind of like the what you call it, castle defense or whatever. You build creatures, they come and attack you. You know, you gotta collect all sorts of things. And then these guys collect the gold. Boardroom. Hideout. Or hideout here. Hopefully they take the gold with them. In case they don't pick up the gold. It looks like they pick it up anyway. That guy just kind of picked it up. I think it's because it's kind of more, a little bit slower right now, but I bet you it really picks up later too. Guess I can pick it up too, it looks like. Instruction menu. Where'd that horde room go? Hideout. Suppose I could make this like actually square, but Maybe I'm at the max for creatures. I gotta research. Throne room. Doesn't look like I can research anything right this second. Let's take some of these dudes. There, we got like 6 dudes here.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Gonna send them outside. Good thing I didn't.
Payday.
Look at that, the stars. Healing potion. Where do we use that? There we go. The guard tower. Getting the XP easier. An extra level there. I guess that's not a guard tower. A whole gang of them there. See if we got a strategy going here.
By the goddess of light, what happened here? The whole city is in ruins. I drank a beer right over there just yesterday.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Wonder if I got any guards left there.
Defend the dungeon heart.
Good thing I left the leader there, eh?
Sure showed him.
Actually, these guys aren't needed, I don't think.
It's payday.
Kind of a different concept, eh? I'm not sure where these guard towers are, or guard buildings are, though. That must be a guard building. Alright, now we know what they look like. Oh, it's killing all the trees, eh? Thank you for coming by, Hungry Howie. Hopefully this game looked alright to you. I never played it before. The code, actually, that I got from
The
somewhere.
armies of evil here? Damn it all, how did that happen? Time to call out the heavy guns. Right, men, get ready to attack in waves. Excuse me, sir. Wouldn't it make more sense if we attacked all at once? Where's the fun in that? Wave after wave, that's a strategy for real men.
Thanks to the enemy's limited tactical finesse,
Later,
their
Gator.
destruction was virtually unavoidable. So it was time to decorate for the victory celebration, to get the beer and hire the orc dancers. Okay, maybe not orcs. I shudder at the thought.
They're going to be child's play. Leave them to me.
I went to bed.
Hold them back and let them hit you while I deal with them.
Wasn't that the Staggering Pony Tavern? By the goddess, I won't be getting any more roast pork there.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. There are enemies in your dungeon.
Be careful, man.
Show him.
There we go. We got a potion. Something. Need a prison is what I need. Wonder if I can make more creatures yet. No. Here's something. Drink more snots.
It's payday.
Because when they're hungry, they just kill a turkey. These little threes and stuff are the levels, I guess. 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure how you collect the glowy thing for research. Take a quick peek. That's what Google's good for, isn't it, Ginger? How to collect research Dungeons 3. Beginner's question. Mildly confused. That sounds like me. I'm not really sure. They've often make gobbler farms huge. And if you press F2, it'll pick up all of them. Huh, not sure. Weird, man. Oh, this guy got himself in a bad spot. The guy's just chopping wood. He don't care. Oh, there's something that they want to destroy, I guess.
The armies of evil reach one of those disgustingly good places that had survived the destruction of Twistrom. The ice-cold hand, I mean evil, would deal with it immediately. The little town of Good was destroyed and turned into a hotbed of evilness. Cracks formed on the surface, and something, guess, evil rose from the depths. This evilness, in a practical spherical form, was the sweet lifeblood which flowed through the personified evil's veins. It stimulated the armies of evil and swelled their power. All this lofty blah blah without any impact on the game aside, it was another resource.
Oh, that's where you get the little gold things from, eh?
For more powerful research. Delicious evilness flowed into the dungeon heart and filled it with power. New research was thus made available, which would help the dungeon to even greater power. The impatient evil immediately began to research something. Payday.
These guys are mostly good shape. I think I'll kill them. So I don't know if that ticks up or what. Or if I can leave it.
Wasn't that the Staggering Pony Tavern? By the goddess, I won't be getting any more roast pork there.
Send these guys back. Looks like there's a dude coming in.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
The way to... Guess those guys got back. Now we can research. Push the right thing, that'll help.
The progress addicted evil had unlocked some new research and immediately set about trying it out.
Increase the maximum population points. 50. Get that. Improve her a little bit. There. Creatures. I can make this one. So we improved it by two sizes. And now I got like a healer. 2 healers. So I guess every now and then you can get more creatures like that. Up to 15 at a time, and then you have like a mini army, eh? And then it looks like you unlock more stuff later.
It's payday.
And these guys like to eat, so they gotta have lots of turkeys.
Time to die.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
That wizard kind of got messed up, eh? I put my evil sorcerers right behind him. Those guys just beat on everybody. Oh, look at that creature, eh? Alright, let's pick an army out. Or maybe I should do some more mining, I don't know. Lots of things to be built here. Hey, gold vein. Can't dig there. That's the edge, I guess. Six. Let's send them outside. Oh, we got an achievement. Collected enough evilness. Move this one to the back.
Wasn't that the Staggering Pony Tavern? By the goddess, I won't be getting any more roast pork there.
Heck's shooting at me here.
It's payday.
I'll get injured up. Or this thing can heal itself. Maybe I need 2 of these out here, eh? Maybe they can heal each other then.
Trust me, whatever you're doing, it's working. It is working.
It is working. Yeah, they can heal each other. Good. They can't do it when they're moving though. There we go. We're all healed up. Oh, now there's more dudes there.
Oh no! The studio burned down. And I was going to come here tonight for Pilates.
Boy, they can't stop attacking me, eh? What is that? Life regenerate. Oh, this guy heals himself. He's a regenerator now is his name.
Payday.
Let that one guy destroy the little tank. Two guard towers down. Oh, good busting that down did. Over here, I guess.
Goddess of light, what happened here? The whole city is in ruins. I drank a beer right over there just yesterday.
Oh, here's one of those pretty areas.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Guess we gotta take care of this at the same time.
Your dungeon heart is under attack. The second island of the good was mercilessly overrun by the strategically savvy evil's hordes and turned into an evil island. Soon, more of that exquisite evilness would be bubbling to the surface. Excellent. Even better than in Dungeons 2. Not that I'm out to plug it or it's fantastic.
Talking about the prequel to this game. Did I lose anybody here?
It's payday.
But no one's on the surface.
Everything evil comes from above.
So, research more, I guess.
The power is indescribable.
And we got more creatures. Looks like the other spots are up in the top right somewhere.
Wasn't that the Staggering Pony Tavern? By the goddess, I won't be getting any more roast pork there.
Oh, we got bad.
There are enemies in your dungeon. Defend the dungeon heart.
Just wait.
Gotta get her healed up.
Take me to the enemy. Ah!
I don't know what happens if she dies, but hopefully she heals up. Where's the crew out here?
Drop me on the enemy.
I think they're sleeping, keeping the place clean, eh?
It's payday.
These guys are fighting up there. Crap, something happened. One of them got killed.
Okay, everyone ready?
Mr. Oz, thank you for the follow.
Standing in unison. Okay, be seated.
Which one got killed? I lost 2 of them. A bummer. I think I lost one of the healers. Or send them back, I guess, and get restocked. Not there. Maybe make more guys first here. One, 2. Maybe one of them snake things. And go recover. Where's the rest of them?
Payday.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
Gotta get this guy here. Taking care of the biz there. Before they were about to invade. We heal them up a little bit and then I'll be able to send them out. Maybe I should do some research. Out of money. Oh crap, there's no money left. Is there like a gold vein over here somewhere? There's two of them beaming on them. It'll heal them faster. All right, let's go. Most of these dudes are level 1 rookies. Alright, let's go. All nice music once it gets in there. Beat on that guy. Oh, don't kill my guy. Big army of dudes.
Payday.
I wonder when these guys are gonna level up. I'm beating on people like crazy. Like one dude here, he's kind of gonna be in trouble soon. But dudes are all healed up. I think if I was to do this differently, I'd put that guards quarter right by the entrance. Not the guards quarter, the sleeping quarters, creatures den or whatever it is. That'll be the last guard building.
The good camp has been destroyed. Victory is ours. Evil is victorious. Ha! Good thing I switched sides.
And so it was that the good camp was destroyed by the battle-wise evil's army. Now it was time to take over all of the good islands, but that would be a cakewalk. Easy as stealing candy from a baby. Candy from a baby? Simple. My ass. Ever tried it? The screaming and
this?
crying and fetching their parents and family as reinforcements, and those little beasts bite pretty damn hard. Not that I have any personal experience, of course.
The ultimate, chaotic, absolute, whatever evil will be happy. I am. Father is gonna be so angry. Do you really know what you're doing? You wanted to be good. You had dedicated yourself to the light. Stop and really think about your deeds.
Can you please just stop with the golem thing? We already had too many Lord of the Rings gags in the last 2 games. Enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly. Just shut it, good me.
Talia and
Achievement!
the destructive evil's army had succeeded in destroying Twistram and the surrounding area. Good no longer existed in this land.
Oi! What the hell happened here?
Apparently, not quite all of the good guys were defeated. The dwarven King Grimly, an old drinking buddy of Tanos the Paladin, was just touring the country with his exorbitantly large army to ensure everything was in order. Thank God, the foresighted evil had provided for this contingency. The dungeon heart was charged with evilness and enough energy to act as a teleporter. For Talia, of course.
Ooh, good. Then all the best, brave warriors, and stop them! Right! I'm out of here.
With a plop, Talia dissipated and disappeared to a faraway and safe place. The rest of the sacrificing evil's creatures looked astonished as their general fled, but only for a moment, as they already found themselves facing an unpleasant army of good.
This is the work of that damn pointy-eared wench. I always warned Tanos that those miserable dark elves couldn't be trusted. Criminals, the lot of them. But enough is enough. I'm going to find that shifty wench and use her ears as bookmarks.
I guess that's it for that dungeon. Do you want to rate the game? Later. Wonder how do you save? Well, I work tomorrow. Hopefully this was interesting to watch. Seems like kind of a fun game, actually. Once I started understanding it more, it was I was getting to get a little strategies in. But I don't know, it's kind of different. The strategies backwards compared to, you know, usually you're off killing all the bad guys, and this time you're the bad guy. That's kind of cool. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, Ginger. Thank you anybody else who's been here as well. I don't know. I like checking out these games. This game was supplied, the code was supplied by the developer. So you know, it's neat. I probably wouldn't have necessarily checked out some of the games I check out if the codes weren't supplied to me. You know, just because, you know, money's a thing, you know, you gotta spend it wisely. So you want to pick in the ones that maybe are safer choices sometimes, but this is an opportunity to check out games, and it's nice for anybody watching as well. But if you haven't checked out my social media, if you haven't hit that follow button, please do so. It'd be appreciated. This was a decent one. I think it'd be considered a double A title probably. So it's not like, you know, I think it's a bigger staff probably making it, I would assume. I mean, it looks like there's a lot to it. But as far as it goes, the you know, I bet you it gets pretty cool. And this version actually just came out. It's like the complete everything version. Like there's tons of stuff in it. You know, like even when we went to campaign there, like I think these are all DLCs. You know, there's the main campaign, and then I think this is like 5 or 6 different DLCs. Can't spell? You said you meant decent, I'm assuming. But yeah, it's kind of a, yeah, they got a little cheesiness in there, some jokes. I don't know, I think you could probably play a lot on this game and get right into it. So it's pretty cool. And obviously it's been around, you know, Dungeons3. There's been a couple. Wonder when the first Dungeons came out. Before I wrap up, let's have a quick peek. Dungeons release. Looks like they've been around since release date. This is May 26th. So this one must have been, oh, that's Minecraft Dungeons. Dungeons 1? Dungeons video game. Here we go. Developed by Realm Forge Studios and published by Calypso. Calypso is the ones that do the Tropico. It was released in 2011, January 27th, 2011, in Germany, and February 10th, 2011, North America. Dungeons differs from Dungeon Keeper. The purpose is care for heroes, not monsters. Huh. So the very first one was that one a long time ago, 9 years ago. They've had a little time to develop it over time. Anywho, thank you for watching. We will end now, and have a good night.